bus accident to realize how fragile life is. Life is fragile, and I'm not going to like all of a sudden go, I'm going to live to the fullest now. But what I did realize is that my career is even more important to me than I ever really thought. And now, you know, I don't really take the bull by the horns anymore. I'm just a little more aware. I never thought at age 27 that I would be getting married, but to tell you the truth, I can't imagine anybody else I would rather spend the rest of my life with. So, it was something that we both felt, you know, when we first met each other. It's crazy, that little thing you just know when you know. And actually, it's a cliche for a reason. It's because you really do. You just know when you know. You're like, this person, it's got everything exactly what I was looking for. And you know, you fight, you bicker, you do your things, you go through these situations, but we always somehow come out of every little weird situation stronger. That's when I know that it's something that's healthy. It's always adjusting and getting better. And we're madly in love. And you know, life is good for me right now. It really is. It's great.
So in the meantime, you'll be resting.
One of my favorite collaborations was with Joe Firstman, who's a good buddy of mine, and I love Joe. And I know every time we get together we're going to write a great song. And Almost Honest was a song that we wrote together. And we wrote it, it took 10 minutes to write. I mean, I started playing the chords, and then he was like, oh, I love that. And then he got on the piano, and then I got the pen and pad out, and I started coming up with melodies, and the first words out of my mouth were, so in the meantime. And he was just like, oh, keep going, you know, and we just, 10 minutes later we're done. And then an hour later, we called all the boys in to the studio, and next thing you know, finished it. 2 takes, we finished that song, and it was the master.
Wow.
Crazy. It's crazy. I love the way that those kind of things work out. So it's crazy how all of my best songs are ones that basically wrote themselves. You know, I didn't have to think too hard.
Right.
When I catch myself thinking too hard, I'm like, you know what? This isn't the kind of art that I need to create. People think that I am like the next Todd Rundgren for some reason, but the reason I found out now what the reason is, because I'm a big fan of his, but the reason is when he was growing up in his career, he was kind of like me. He played all his own instruments. He had his own recording studio. He stayed locked up in his house and made music. And sort of that sort of chaotic way of living is the same way I live. You know, I own my own studio. I'm a control freak. I play all my own instruments on my records. Like this last record, it's pretty much all me. Just locked myself in the house, stayed in my robe, ordered food in, made music.